So I counted it up. We're at 80 episodes.
This is 80?
This is number 80 right here.
Holy cow, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought we were like close, like 75 range.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
80
It's
episodes,
80.
dude.
Yeah. It's
But-
wild.
There's a lot of shows who haven't hit 80
I
episodes.
know,
That's,
dude. I
that's
know.
all I'm saying.
No,
So
it's crazy. Yeah, I went back through, counted it up, and I was like, I can't even. The fact that we even made it to 50, I remember us celebrating 50
in here.
in here.
And we
yeah.
were going
Yeah.
banana
Yeah.
land, dude. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I don't know, it is cool though, because I feel like a lot of people look at stuff like this or like podcasting as like anybody and everybody makes a show,
Yeah.
anybody and everybody
Yeah.
talks, but like there's a pride that comes with it, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
like, dude, like we did that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
you put this emotion, and we've been able to knock out 80 episodes over 2.5
Yep.
years. That is crazy. And it is crazy to also think that it's been that long,
Yeah.
almost. You know, like there's
Mhm.
sometimes where I feel like we're still putting out test episodes for
I know.
Derek and Josh to
I
shit
know,
on.
I know.
And now it's like, you know,
I
we've been
know.
80 official episodes deep. So technically 83
Yeah.
recordings, 84 recordings. Like, so, I mean, that's the time and the energy and,
Yep.
and the, you know, just the passion put into it is
Yeah.
cool to see it come to
Yeah.
fruition. So, I mean, obviously, like, sucks that it's over, but
Yeah.
everything has to come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
Um,
the number itself that was just kind of mind blowing for me. Like 80 is, that's a lot. Like
that's a lot, dude.
I even think whenever we started, or like recording, like, do you remember? So I tried finding it. Do you remember the first episode the first test episode we recorded?
Yeah.
And it didn't even really work because the only thing I had was the Zoom recording, and you could only see your face.
Yes.
You could hear my voice and then the screen, and it was just us Googling stuff.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the fact
It's a lot messier.
Yeah, exactly. And I just seeing that, and I don't think that at that point I would have said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go 80 episodes," because at that point neither one of us had done anything that was like that long.
No,
lasting,
dude, no
you know?
shot. Like,
Yeah.
the closest thing we had was, like, talking to each other at a bar about this
Mhm.
type of shit. Like,
Mhm.
that's it, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have anything planned, and, like, you know, we'd done a couple cameos on, like, Two Beers Deep
Yeah.
or whatever, but it's not, like,
Yeah,
we didn't have, like, I wasn't on any shows
yeah.
before that.
Right.
So, you know, the vault was like our thing, and I mean we crawled and then we
Yep.
walked, and now
Yep.
we've ran, and you know
Yeah.
we're 80 episodes. That's crazy too, that it's not like 79 or 81, that like we're stopping on sharp 80
80.
episodes through 3
Yeah.
seasons. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty good, man.
Yeah.
So
We hit Nate Washington, number 80.
Yeah.
So like,
Nate Washington was number 85.
ah.
Darnell Washington is number 80,
Oh,
who we
okay.
call Mount Washington, that is now our tight end.
Okay, yeah.
But
I mean,
Nate Washington's a great random athlete to just throw
Who was
out.
I thinking?
so-
Was I thinking? Was it
Cedric Wilson?
Yeah, that's
Cedric
who it
Wilson was 80. Yep.
That's who it was.
Yep.
It was one of the two. One of those like wide receivers,
Fringe
like
receivers who, like-
WR3s. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple like big plays,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if you
yeah.
mix their names, nobody gives a shit.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls back on another edition of Vault, the last edition of the Vault. The weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. With me, as always, is my main man, Mr. Benny Buckets. Benny, how's it going, brother? How's it going?
It's a bittersweet day.
Yep.
It's a very bittersweet day. But as we were talking, you know, a few minutes ago, surreal, man. Surreal that we're here, and 80 episodes on the dot deep. It's been a
80.
fun ride, and I'm
Yes,
happy to
sir.
finish in style today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheers to 80, my man. Yeah, it was dude, 3 years is something that I never thought I would sink that much time into. Like, it's
Right.
a lot. It's a lot of time, and yeah, going from just like a blog. That's the craziest part. Was I was writing the Vault probably 5 or 6 years ago now.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild that it lasted that long and we're still doing it. But I mean, yeah, sad that we're here, but like I'm happy that we've gotten this far. So it feels good. It feels good.
Right.
A little sad, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But so I guess for those of you that have been tuning in from the start, we appreciate it.
Yeah, you sat through 80 episodes.
Yeah, of these two idiots.
Of us just bullshitting about jerseys and drinking and pickleball players and Sasquatches and all this shit. So,
yeah.
And then swashbucklers and seawolves and all the shit. You know, you've been on the ride since day one, and now it's time to get off, but we appreciate you for being here. So, and even, you know what, even for the people who've just liked a clip or retweeted a video or gave us their opinion on our picks, like anybody who's interacted with the show, like you have no idea, because like we do this for us, because we love doing it, and we've had a passion for doing the show and bringing our affection for jerseys to light. But it's very rewarding to see people interact with it and like have an impact somewhere to where they're like, hey, you know what? I laughed at what you guys were talking about, or I never saw these jerseys that you brought up and they're sick and I bought one. Like that type of stuff, like any of those interactions, I'm super thankful for, and it's cool that we got to do that. But like I said, I mean, I said it either last week or the week before, like I feel like the show, it brought us closer as friends
100%,
and led to other avenues in our life. And, you know, it's just, it's been cool. And unfortunately, it does have to come to an end, but I'm content. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I'm at peace with it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I remember, like, just how camera shy I was when I first started. And, like, and, I mean, not only, we definitely grew as friends just between the two of us. And I think that's probably the coolest thing out of the whole thing.
100%, yeah.
But, like, on top of that, just getting more comfortable being on camera. And then that translates in all kinds of ways too. Even just at work, I'm on camera like all the time now.
Right, and, like I feel like even speaking up in like meetings and stuff, like it's like, you know, now I got to watch my language more in those types of atmospheres than I do. You know, doing this with you, but it's and that's like because I'm like loud, like everybody just assumes that I'm super comfortable on camera, but 90% of the time I'm having a deep panic attack, and like you know, and I'm just trying to like peter it out, but doing this with you on a weekly basis for 3 years has made me more comfortable, and I think it has helped because we were friends before, but we've gotten so much closer because of the show. Like I've hung out with you outside of the show and doing stuff and leading to us coaching together and all that stuff. Like I don't think that would have happened if we didn't do the vault. Like we would have stayed friends, like because we were friends in high school and we would have talked every once in a while, but I think it would have been a lot more pedestrian than it has been because we've had this. So it's cool, man. I mean, it's cool, and it's cool to say that like we did something, and that, you know what, like, hey, me and my buddy did this show a couple years ago. We did 80 episodes. You want to find it? Go look on YouTube. You know, like there's proof. It's not just us talking about it. Like we physically did it. We did it a lot. You know, so
consistently too. It wasn't like it was like you can tune in every week when we were on. Like you tuned in every week for 24 episodes at a time, and like
I think that's why it was smart like to do the seasons because so we didn't get stale and we had something to look forward to for us and for people watching. Like I think it was good instead of doing the show 52 episodes a year because we're doing it every single week. I think it would have got stale. I think it would have ran dry as opposed to what we have now. So I don't know, man. It's just it's cool that like everything that we did, it just kind of worked out. Like we didn't really hit many hiccups. Like it was just like we adapted and it worked, and you became a fucking TV producer with this show. I mean, putting everything together. That's for everybody who needs to know. I just show up and talk, and he handles everything else. So, you know, but you've built something here, and something that if you ever want to get back into it, or we do with something or whatever, like. We know what we're doing now. It was a big learning process, but we got to like more than anything, dude. We just had fun. Like
it was just fun.
I've got to bullshit with one of my closest friends every week for 3 years, and then you know, and go bowling and turn it from getting drunk and tossing balls to content, and going to a Riverhounds game and getting stupid with strangers and screaming obscene things at USL players, like and turn it in. to content and like make it a part of the show.
Yep.
And those are things that people got to see us have fun. And I think that's why, you know, our 6 loyal watchers or whatever, like in the people who did like our show and like the clips that we put out, or because they liked it, we just had fun. Because it's infectious. And that's why I like half the content creators that I like is because I just see that they're just having a good time. And that's, you know, we've got to do that for 3 years, which is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, well, and we tried, I mean, it was kind of the point, but we tried to make it so people felt like they were just sitting down and talking jerseys with us.
Yeah,
that was the whole point.
They're like, walking in the room that we're having a conversation.
Yeah, because we've already had those. We had already been having those conversations just as friends
since we were like 15.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you might as well like the only thing we did was we started turning a camera on, and then we started getting the graphics there, and we have mics, but like nothing has really changed outside of we have more of a formula to it now, but like it's still the same thing.
Yeah, the concept.
Yep.
In the genesis of it all. Shout out Phil Collins. Is all stayed the same. You know, the root of what we've done has stayed the same. We just got better with it, more comfortable with it, and you know that's why we put out 80 episodes. I mean, that number is sticking with me. Like that is crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and just think about. Do you remember that? So I think I got it up. So I'm gonna play the teaser, just because I feel like it's
was like our original teaser.
Yeah, our original teaser. Yeah. So, here we go. And like I don't know if anyone can really hear it, but I think we should be able to hear a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But like this is just doing like this stuff just made me excited to like do the show.
Yeah,
like,
to get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got the jersey on that you had in.
I know. Yeah.
That's
Full
circle show. I do not. But
that wasn't on purpose either. I wasn't like, ooh, let me go put this one on.
That would have been cool though. I should have thought ahead. But all my basketball jerseys don't fit like they used to. So
well, yeah, you had the Jason Williams, you had the white chocolate one on, and this one I think. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Yeah, if anybody has been paying close attention, I have grown as a person through this show. Not only, you know, mentally, but physically. I'm due in like 3 weeks. But yeah, dude, it's wild. Like Greg Mack. Like when Greg Mack was like the VP here.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's writing about sports in Ohio or something. And
I know. No, it's crazy. Yeah, no, I remember
Austin's still exactly the same.
I pitched this to Derek just as like an idea to like promo the show or whatever, and like it was. I didn't think that it was gonna turn out as well as it did, and like I don't think that there was like a better intro to the show. You know, here's Vo talking about jerseys.
Yeah, and Vo's like, he's like in a monastery. I don't know, like. Why he chose to do the video?
Yeah, that's what he got for his first communion right there. It's his first communion cross right there.
Well, he obviously left there because he had a baby before he got married.
Yeah,
but Vo, we love you. We love baby Vo.
It was not
soon to be Mrs. Vo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are getting married, so it's not like anything. Like
right. He just skipped the steps that
your
GCC people would want them to take. So.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, me covering up my bed that was on the ground at that point. I was very underdeveloped.
Well, you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know. Wait, actually, hold on. I think this is another good one.
Are you a fan of nostalgia?
Oh man, and my spotty camera.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That is crazy, and we did release that first episode on New Year's too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's wild.
1-1. Yep.
So I mean, yeah, you figure through 2021, through 2022, now through 2023. 3 years, and we were brainstorming shit like that for a while beforehand, and it's like, oh, dude, some of that stuff, and I get that, like, it wasn't really that long ago, but I feel like it was ages, dude.
It feels ages ago, man.
Yeah.
I just watching that. Like I feel like I got like the full beard now, and like then I couldn't grow like peach fuzz, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to look back at some of that stuff, or even just like this is the Vault commercial with the pirate.
Dude, yeah.
Just filming that, and that's what we're talking about too. Is like it was just fun. Like
yeah, we were just dicking around, honestly, like just having a good time, and because we weren't like, look, in for the people that have been watching this show, please don't think that you were insignificant by any means, but we knew that this show wasn't going to reach hundreds of thousands of people, right? We were very realistic with it, so we figured if we're going to do it, we're going to do it our way and have some fun, and if people like it, sick, and if not, we still enjoy doing it, and that's like, that I just love that, like, you've been able to see that in everything that we've done in 3 years.
I know. So, yeah, anyone that, well, first of all, thank you for coming on board.
Oh, dude, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Always,
dude.
man.
Of course, dude. And thank you for anyone who's watched, because, I mean, really, anyone who just watched with us, really, that just means the world to us, because we were just doing what we thought was funny, or we were just having fun, talking about something that we've always liked. Like, I talk about this all the time, but it just started as just like I was a college kid, or even before college, too. I just liked jerseys, but, like, I was a college kid who, like, went up to people at parties and was like, that's a sick jersey, dude.
That's a great jersey.
Sick jersey, because it was just a random pool.
I just did it at Kennywood on Friday.
Speaking of that, I was at Kennywood later that night.
Shut up. On Friday?
On Friday, yep. We went at like 5:30. Yeah.
I still would have been there. We left at like 7.
Oh, really? Yeah. We got there at like 5:36.
Oh, I'm so mad.
I know. Yeah, me and Jess went. It was the first time.
We could have rode the kangaroo together. I'm so fucking mad now. Oh.
Well, so I got burnt out on Kennywood growing up. I was so out on Kennywood for so long, and then Jess had only been like a few times.
Dude,
and like I like it kind of reinvigorated my like. I'm still okay with amusement parks. They're just not for the price. Kennywood, I don't think it's quite worth it. But
it is a lot, but that's why you got to get season passes. Because Autumn's parents got us season passes as a gift. Okay,
all
so
right.
we just go for free.
Yeah.
But if you go 3 times, you've gotten more than your money's back.
That's true.
For like how much it would cost to go individually each time like that.
Yeah.
But I love Welfare Disney. That's what I call that's what I call Kennywood. It's awesome. I'm so bought into all that shit. They open up a new ride. I'm like first in line.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I love it.
Dude, the steel curtain was closed on Friday.
Dude, it's closed all the time.
Is it really?
I went before I moved back. Well, I guess not before I moved back, but before we got season passes.
Yeah.
In times of when I would visit home, and then 2 times after I moved home, I went to Kennywood 5 times.
Yeah.
With my only goal being to ride that ride, since it opened. I was like, dude, I gotta ride it. All 5 times it was closed. And then me and Autumn went again. This was the 6th time. Like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I went closed. Then we get these season passes, and just like a year ago, I was finally able to ride it for the first time. And we rode it like 5 times that day, because I was like, I may never get to ride it again.
Was it good?
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's my favorite ride when it's working.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't know if it should be, because if it closes that much, it'll probably kill me.
I know. I know.
But my point being about bringing up Kennywood was I was in line for the Thunderbolt, and standing in line for the Thunderbolt, there was a kid in front of me wearing a high school Derrick Henry jersey.
Oh.
And he was like 16.
Yeah.
I literally said, I was like, hey man, that jersey is some of the sickest shit I've ever seen. And he's like, oh, you know who this is? I was like, yeah, dude, that's a Derrick Henry high school jersey. And he goes, oh yeah, it is. And I was like, okay, like, can I dap you up? Or
Yeah.
he's like, okay, yeah. And just like, I don't know, super weird. And then this other kid had it was like a Hawaiian basketball jersey with an 8 that said Mamba on the front with Kobe on the back. So it was like not an official jersey, but still I respected it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yours isn't as cool, but I'll dap you up because I'm a Kobe guy.
Yep.
And so like I dapped him up too.
Yep.
But I saw a high school kid wearing a high school Derrick Henry jersey that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, so whenever I was at the draft, I don't know if I told you this, but I was at the draft and I saw it was a Lamar Jackson high school
jersey. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I went up
from
to
when
that
he
guy.
made that famous play.
Yep.
That's what like everybody knew.
Yep, exactly.
Who he was at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we still do it. So like, anyway, that's all to say that like we still love jerseys and we kind of always have, but that's kind of how it started. But
Right.
yeah, it's kind of wild that we kind of got this far. But yeah, I mean, we got like I'm just trying to think of all the other like funny things that we like. The first minor league baseball jersey episode was amazing.
That's still potentially my favorite episode of all time.
Oh yeah.
That and honestly, the first time we did the vault here,
Yes.
when Will was here,
Yep.
like it was
CD
like
Palencia.
it was just like even if it wasn't actually funny,
Yeah.
everything that the three of us were saying cracked me up. And I wasn't even drunk. I
Yeah.
did have a 40, but I was not drunk. It was just like
Yep.
I don't know, man. It just everything was cracking me up.
Well,
and
I
like,
just remember
it was
do you
kinda
remember the
just
Christopher
flowing.
Lloyd comment?
Yeah. Oh, I love Christopher Lloyd. Like, who the hell says it? That's like, oh yeah, I love the mall security guy. Like, who the fuck says that? That's such a random thing. Like, yeah, my favorite actor is the guy who played Cop 5 in Die Hard. Like, like it makes no sense to now. Okay, maybe I'm shitting on Christopher Lloyd a little too much. He's had more prevalent roles.
I mean,
than
yeah,
that,
he was
but,
the big guy in Back to the Future, but at the same time, it's still like
Yeah.
a random actor to be like,
Yeah,
oh
just,
yeah, that's my guy.
that's my
That's my
favorite
guy.
dude. My
I
the
love
best
Christopher Lloyd.
celebrity. Oh, I'm obsessed with Christopher. I've seen every movie he's ever been in. Like that's a bit much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but I don't know, man. That and like that's when like the Bible Man shit started.
Yeah,
that
yep.
we have carried on
Yep.
with Bible Man forever. Which even still, whether it's for content or not, we gotta watch one.
Yeah,
You, me, and Will gotta get together and watch a Bible Man.
I would watch one. Yeah, I would definitely watch one. That and the Hounds game was unreal.
That was
Unreal.
such a good cathartic experience, like because like Abby and shout out Abby and Denny for
Yeah.
being a part of that whole thing, but like they were, it was like they just decided to turn a camera on. Like we were obviously we were getting some interviews
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
needed
yeah.
to, but it was like. It wasn't like we were working going to the game. You know
No,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
like we still were just there having a good time experiencing
Mm-hmm.
how we would have anyway had there not
Yeah.
been cameras on, just
Yeah.
minus the baby mic interviews.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was cool, man. And even like the people that we were there with
Yeah.
or met there like understood the assignment. Like
Yep.
it was like everybody was like, okay, cool, let's just fuck around and make some content for these guys,
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cool that, like, because I was expecting somebody to turn us down
Oh yeah.
and
yeah,
say,
yeah.
no, like, I don't want to talk or something like and everybody was
Everyone
like,
did.
no, I got time.
Dude,
You know?
the one guy that I went up to and just said thoughts, and he's like, "Yo, it's sick."
It's sick. That guy, he said
Goat.
2 words,
Goat.
and is still the best interview I think we got out of the whole thing. Thoughts? It's sick. That guy's, that's the energy that we were looking for the entire night. Oh, man.
Oh man, that and obviously the bowling and like just all the having the day one lifestyle guys on.
I still feel shitty that I didn't get them on the show again
yeah, I
after
mean,
that because like we've met guys like them and Brandon Moon
Yep.
and Chance
Yep.
and I know I'm missing others, not just Thoughts from the Bench guys, but those guys that we
Yep.
brought in otherwise. Like it was so cool because now we've ran into B Moon
Yep.
and I've ran into Chance and like they're like, hey man, so good to
Yep.
see you, whatever, because like they've understood what we do
Yep.
and we've understood what they do
Yep.
and we've been able to branch this community out and connect with people that just want to have fun doing what they do. Yeah. And it's like, I love that we were able to showcase that on the show. And even, like, I genuinely consider Will Marshall, like, one of my friends
100%,
now. And like...
I mean, like, besides the training stuff, I do text Will. Just about stuff.
Yeah, like his hinge dates and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just, it's cool that, like... I can say, like, if I run into somebody, like, in Autumn's like, oh, how do you know that guy?
Yeah.
He was on our show.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's so cool, dude. Yeah. Like, and because of that, we had such a positive experience after the fact. Like, that shit lingers on past when we turn the cameras off. Like, dude, that is such a cool thing. Like, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it. Like, that's so cool.
Community sort of thing,
to build that or even just be lucky enough to be a part of it. That's just... It's been an awesome ride.
Yeah, no, it really has. So I want to do two things.
Okay.
So all right. So I just shot you a text. I asked ChatGPT to write us a monologue for the two of us. Okay.
Oh my God! Okay, and we're gonna read it.
Yeah, we're gonna read. Now I think this is almost reading it like it's the end of the show. We're gonna do it now.
Okay.
As we do it, and you never did it, so.
You sack of shit! No, it's not.
It's not brunettes. I couldn't find actual brunettes.
And that is still on me. People on the show, you know what? We'll put out a video at some point. It'll probably be on our personals.
Yep.
I will do that at some point.
Yep.
Like when we get together, I will drink Burnett's because I owe you that much.
Okay, yeah.
But...
Yeah, so I actually don't know what this is.
The 99 suck. Anybody who knows these, 99 bananas is the worst. There's 99 blueberries. There's 99... I think there's a huckleberry that I had once. Some Montana shit. But like... They're all bad. All the 99s are bad. There's like 99 strawberries and shit like that. 99 peaches I've had before.
I don't even.
Also,
what is it? So is it? It's not even vodka, is it?
It is.
Is it?
It is. Yeah.
I'm kind of dreading it, but I couldn't let you do it alone. So.
Yeah. Well, it says that they're bottled by Polynesian Products. Is that people? Like the products are people who bottled this, or
so just Polynesians?
Yeah. All right, thanks, man. Shout out to the Polynesian demographic.
Man!
All right, so we're gonna do this before.
We're gonna shoot it and then we're gonna read it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right.
Shout outs to the chat gift. All right. Cheers.
Oh Jesus.
Well, that actually wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad because I got it from the beer distributor. They're not actual shots, so that might be why.
Maybe it was like a peach ring.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And fun fact, I fucking love peach rings. Look at me, I'm a monster. I
do. Peach rings bad.
Peach rings fucking smack. Peach rings and Sather's brand cherry sours fucking slap my tits off before and after soccer games when we were in high school.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't like cherry sours of any other variety. They got to be Sather's brand.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Okay. So,
dude, I've been training that.
Yeah, I know you have. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So. Opening this is ChatGPT. We'll see how much is actually applicable. Opening shots. Smalls and Benny buckets standing in front of a wall covered with sports jerseys. AK
we got one. We got one sports jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans from all corners of the internet, welcome to the series finale of The Vault. It's hard to believe that we've reached this moment after 80 incredible episodes of discussing the best and worst sports jerseys of all time. As we stand here, surrounded by a myriad of colors, designs, and memories, we can't help but feel a mix of nostalgia and excitement for what lies ahead.
That's right, Smalls. It's been an unforgettable journey, exploring the rich tapestry of sports fashion. I fucking like that. That was really good. Exploring the rich tapestry of sports fashion, from the triumphs to the fashion faux pas. We've laughed, we've debated, and we've bonded over our shared love for this unique aspect of the sporting world.
Absolutely, Benny. The Vault Vault has become more than just a show. It's become a community, a gathering place for enthusiasts who appreciate the artistry, creativity, and cultural impact of sports jerseys. We've had passionate discussions, lively debates, even a few disagreements along the way. But through it all, we've cherished the power of sports jerseys to ignite memories and unite fans from all walks of life.
Yeah. So, all you different folk, thanks for coming along. Sorry, I got to get back to my lines. And let's not forget the incredible guests we've had the privilege of hosting on our show. Athletes, designers, collectors, each bringing their own perspectives and stories that have enriched our understanding of these cherished pieces of fabric. No offense, none of you taught me more about jerseys. That's a fucking fact. It's been an honor to learn from them and share their insights with all of you.
Indeed, Benny, our jersey through the annals of sports fashion has
Thank
taught
God
us
for that second N.
Yeah, I know. Not just about jerseys, but about the deep connection between sports and culture. The jersey is more than just a uniform. It's a symbol of identity, a representation of a team, a city, and the dreams and aspirations of millions.
Oh, lost my place. Okay. And while this may be our final episode, it's not the end of the conversation. The Vault has sparked a movement. A movement that will continue beyond virtual walls. We will encourage all of you to keep exploring, keep sharing your favorite jerseys, and keep celebrating the beauty of this unique art form.
I can't do that. Absolutely.
I just felt like I needed to announce that.
That was good. Absolutely, Benny. Remember, the power of the jersey lies not just in its design, but in the stories it holds. So let's keep those stories alive, for they are the threads that connect us as fans, as lovers of sport.
There it is.
And as humans. The Vault may close its doors, but the spirit in a body will live on, carried forward by all of you. Closing shot, Benny and Smalls and Benny Buckets raise their glasses, toasting to the journey they've had and the future that lies ahead. Cheers to all of you, the viewers. Go ahead, cheers.
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 To all the viewers.
To all the viewers. To all the viewers who have joined us on this extraordinary adventure. Thank you for being a part of the Vault. Until we meet again, stay passionate, stay connected, and keep embracing the beauty of sports jerseys. And we're not going to fade to black, but... Yeah, that
actually wasn't
that bad. No,
I hope that, because I don't say what you will about AI and ChatGPT and all this. Whoever did actually write that, I'm sorry that we kind of shit on it a little bit, but there was really good parts.
There were really good parts in there. Like, I agree with, like, I don't know, 75% of it probably.
Yeah,
it was pretty
good
solid.
3/4.
Yeah.
There was just a couple things that I also don't think I was just prepared for. That I was annals. Like, through all the annals of history or whatever. And like I said, there's no disrespect to any of our guests, but you didn't teach me shit. I've just had a good time talking to you. You know, like
the only one that did was conversation. Dre taught us about a few NBA conspiracies about jerseys and John Stockton and like all that stuff. So that was the only one, though.
Dre also has a vault of his own in his head of useless sports knowledge that I feel like we all do in our own respect.
100%,
but Dre and Greg Malik both have, I mean, I'm talking like a Louvre of like weird sports facts. Yeah. That they just know, and they unleash on us all the time, and I'm like, wow, you are a savant at useless sports knowledge. Yeah. So I guess that is an exception, but yeah, man, I mean, it's been fun, and I feel like because we stray off a lot of what we're trying to do, ChatGPT kept us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was
regulated.
I would say overall it was pretty good. I read that through the first time. I was like, oh, that's
not that bad.
It's not that bad.
There was no swearing in it, so it couldn't be authentic.
Right,
but
sure.
it was still pretty good.
It was still pretty good, yeah.
For someone who was just handed an assignment,
Yep.
they did pretty well.
Yeah, no, keeping the conversation going. I like that part because
Mm-hmm.
even when we're done here, like we'll still always kind of talk about it. So.
Oh yeah, like the show is only over in like a broadcasting sense,
Yeah.
but in terms of what we do, I mean, like I've tag you and shit when people rebrand like the Sacramento Kings recently, or just put out New Jersey, like literally, and not like no offense, but like not even for the show, like just because I want to see what you think.
Yeah.
You know, like hey, like am I crazy for liking this, or am I
Yeah.
crazy for not liking this? You know.
Yeah. What I've kind of noticed too is I think you seem to jump in on a jersey a little more than I do. I take a little longer to warm up to it. Yeah. And I think eventually I always kind of agree with you, but it always takes me a little bit to kind
where
of
it's like
warm up
I have
to it.
a knee jerk
Yeah.
of like I love it or I hate it,
Yep,
and I will
yep.
tell you exactly why in depth.
Yep.
Right
Well, yeah,
then and there.
just like the Washington Nationals cherry blossom ones.
Right.
Where so like at first I saw
have
them,
one.
I know. Yeah, I saw that one for the first time. I was like, maybe I don't know, maybe. And then probably within like 2 weeks, I was like, I actually kind of dig these.
See,
Like,
my biggest thing, even with that, and like I said, I mean, I have one, for
Mhm.
God's sake. Shout out Larry Gregory, my former co-worker, who got that for me as a gift. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. I hope you're doing well, Larry. I love you. Anyway, my only gripe is that it says WSH on it. Like,
Yep.
I wish it said even Nats, or it just said Washington
Yep.
in the different colors, but, like,
Yep.
keep the font almost, like,
Yep.
but still, you
Yep.
know, that's a great example of, like,
Yep.
where you were like, I'm not so sure, and
Yep.
then... Well, I think I wore it here one
Yep.
time. I think for one of our
I think you
our
did,
episodes.
Yeah. I think
but,
so. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah. Anyway, all right, Benny. I want to do the ad read. Our last ad read. You want to take it or you want me to?
we can both do it. I'll trade you
Okay.
line and line.
How is that gonna work?
Well, like I'll say one thing, you say another
Okay.
thing.
All right. Yeah.
You know. All right. So our sponsor is Marshall Fitness, as he has been for 80 episodes. Will Marshall is the personal trainer of your present and your future. He's who you need to get your body right. You can reach him virtually here on these things beside you, and he will fit a program to your needs, right, Smalls?
Yeah. No, that's right. As a client myself, took me.
See,
through,
this is a great testimonial right now.
Exactly. Took me through every step of the process. Asked me what I wanted to get out of having a personal trainer. Asked me what my access to equipment looked like. Asked me how much I wanted to work out. Asked me what my diet even consisted of to start. And he took me through every single step of the process. And he checks in regularly. He knows exactly what he's doing.
So he got you to your goals, not a mold that he was trying to force you into.
He knew exactly. He knew what I wanted to accomplish, and that's
So-
what he tried to.
So he
accomplish.
flips to your page. You
Oh,
don't flip to his.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
See,
100%.
If I'm looking for a personal trainer, I don't think I want anybody that's trying to exactly tell me what to do. And if you're like me, I want to go to somebody who knows better than me how to get where I want to be, not just where they want me to be. And sounds like Will Marshall's that guy.
Yeah.
And really,
Yeah.
there is no better time.
Other than now, best time to start is now.
It is.
Yeah.
So check out Will Marshall today. If you have liked anything that we've done over the years, a big reason
Please,
as to
yep.
why we have been able to do this is because of Will Marshall. So please give him a shout, and if you find that it's time to get your body right, reach out to Will and he will get you there.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. This week's topic brought to you
I think
by...
that went pretty well.
No, that definitely went pretty well. I think I was nervous about switching back and forth between the two views, but then I just kind of leaned in, and I think it worked out.
Yeah,
So-
and the testimonial, what better advertisement than somebody
I
who's
know.
been through the
I
program?
know. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to pat myself on the back. I was looking pretty good for my wedding. It was
Yeah.
because of Will. It was because of
Yeah, I agree. I
So-
salivated a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it is what it is.
There you go. This week's topic, as always, is brought to you by Marshall Fitness, and we're doing, obviously this is the series finale. We've done this the past 2 seasons, and no better way to go out, I think, than just doing an Anything Goes episode. So we're just we're doing anything.
Right.
Anything that we want to talk about, any jersey that we want to talk about, this is what we're trying to get done. So, got a wide range here.
Yes, and I took a different approach for each pick, and I'll explain why. But
Yep. So did I, and I only sent you 2 of mine.
Yeah, he's keeping secrets from me. 80 episodes and been friends since we were 14 years old, and this guy is keeping secrets from me 13 years later.
What can I say? I'm a man of mystery. All right, Benny, what do you got for pick number 1?
All right, so my first pick is the outrageous one, right? I actually just recently watched This Was the XFL, the 30 for 30 again. I watched it when it first came out, but it's so great. And I watched it, and I'm watching Vince McMahon. This is the XFL! And I'm like, you know what? Kind of bought in. I wish that it did stay stronger. But realistically, there's no shot it was going to be more competitive. It just wasn't. I wish that I sent you the logo with this as well, like the Orlando Rage's logo, because it's literally just a dude like this. Like, that's it. It's just an angry man, and that's it. But the Orlando Rage was one of the original 8 teams in the XFL. They were one that I liked because of their ridiculous logo, and even that R for Rage that is on there. That's not the vernacular I meant to use. Oh man, happy 80 eps. The sharp R logo that is on the sleeves with the cartoon font numbers. Is crazy to me. And like the unnecessary blue line across the shoulders, then with that like yellow that highlights is the furthest outline of the numbers, and then just a weird stripe in the sleeves. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, but I love that they're just the Rage. Like, you're literally just anger in a football team in a league that prides themselves on not being safe. So, like, it to me, the XFL was NFL Blitz in real life. And then, like, with the personalized name...
he hate me.
He hate me and all this stuff. There were quite a few guys who ended up making it to the NFL. Like, Paris Lennon became a Super Bowl winning linebacker. What's that guy's actual name? Something... Oh, that's going to kill me. Dude, that's going to drive me nuts.
What, he hate me?
Yeah, he ended up... He played for the Panthers and lost in the Super Bowl that they lost to Tom Brady. But there's a couple guys... I mean, Tommy Maddox was MVP of the league and the championship game, and he was a starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, for God's sake. So, like, I mean, you had Jesse Ventura, a movie star and governor of Minnesota, that was announcing the games. You got Vince McMahon, who is literally the embodiment of professional wrestling, made it what it is. You got The Rock announcing games, like, and then you had Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler calling games on color commentary, and it's like, and then all the stuff with the cheerleaders and the in-game, like, the guys running on the field with hockey helmets and masks on is the cameramen being in the shit. Like, it was such a wild time, and I feel like it was such a very early 2000s thing, but I do, like, this hits a nostalgia point for me still, where I'm like, dude, as a little kid, I remember my dad, like, flipping on the XFL and us laughing in their 1 year of existence then. Now, they obviously have attempted a resurgence.
It's different now. I gotta say, I'll let you finish.
But, I mean, it is different now, but this with just the absurd name and the absurd couple logos and just the numbers looking very nonchalant and cartoony. Like, this whole thing just, to me, circles up or rounds up the hilarity of what was the XFL at that time. But it was still, like, such a big deal. Like, this was like a polarizing thing that happened at the time. So I wanted to put something crazy on there, and what crazier than the Orlando Rage?
First of all, it's a great pick. I, believe it or not, actually, and we already talked about this, I went to the very first XFL game in DC.
Which baffled me, by the way. Like, I genuinely, like, in all our years of friendship and from doing this show, the fact that never came up before that episode, I was like...
Yeah. Yeah.
In what world?
It was honestly, it was incredible. Like, the atmosphere was untouched. It just sucked that COVID kind of shut that down.
Yeah, dude, because I feel like they were starting to gain some momentum again.
No, like it was, at least in DC, because, I mean, in DC you have the Redskins, or the Commanders now.
Yeah, easy.
Sorry.
Good thing it's our last step. We're going to get canceled because he used
yeah.
what a professional football program called themselves for decades.
My bad.
But
the Washington football team. They had them.
The Commanders.
So the Defenders were like a good team, and
so wait, they were the Defenders, and they have the Commanders. They have the Commanders and the Defenders.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the Defenders were like, it was like the new team. Obviously, like, you had the allure of the XFL, or what the XFL used to be, right? So you had all the young people go out to the games. It was just a college atmosphere,
right?
And you had the giant cup snake going up, and like which the security tried to crack down on it. Eventually, they just let it happen. And it was a fun atmosphere. Not only that, the team was good. So, like, anyone in DC that wanted a team, they had a football team that was good.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Were they good in comparison to other XFL teams, or was it genuinely good football?
I would say not quite good football. A little bit,
but in comparison to other XFL teams,
I would say in the middle of the two.
Okay,
definitely better than most XFL teams, but maybe not quite great football. What they did though was take advantage of the rule changes. They were one of the few teams that tried the 2 forward passes. They tried like the different plays that they could maybe come up with on kickoffs, because it is different. Like they were trying different things.
That.
And I kind of watched it this past year. I gambled on a few games, and it's fun gambling on the XFL because you don't know what's going to happen. Shout out the Arlington Renegades, by the way.
Shout out. We know you're watching.
Yeah, I know. But no, the XFL, I like it nowadays because it's not quite what it used to be. They don't try to be outrageous. They try to develop players, and they try to come up with cool new rules, or like, even if they don't always work, they're trying different things.
Which is cool because, I mean, you see, and a lot of people, if you don't know enough about the XFL, read some articles or even watch that 30 for 30, because there is shit that the XFL did that the NFL does today. And I know this is not what Vince McMahon intended it to be, but it did end up being a decent avenue for players who weren't believed in by these NFL teams get to watch them play at a professional level. And then there were, I'm not going to say a lot, but there were a handful of those guys who ended up making it to the NFL because of the XFL that were like starters and like meaningful players. Like Paris Lennon is like, he was a Pro Bowl linebacker. Like, I mean, like, you got guys who made a difference. Technically, Tommy Maddox won Super Bowl 40. He was a backup, but still, he got a ring. And it's like, you get these guys who, to me, he was our backup quarterback and the guy that had to get hurt for Ben to even come in. So, if anything, tip my cap to Tommy Maddox. Thanks for having a weak body. But, like, to me, like, these guys can play. Like, it's not, everybody looks at like, oh, well, that's not real football. There's still guys who have put their entire being into playing that sport, and that's like the pinnacle. So I think there's something nice about it that like there's more football because those guys can jump. PJ Walker is still in the league now, is a backup quarterback, but still he's getting league money now because he played, was it the USFL or the XFL?
I want to say it was the USFL.
But either one of these leagues, like, I appreciate it to a point because the NFL is the only major team sport that doesn't have a developmental league. They're the only one. And I feel like if even they could strike a deal with one of these leagues to make that a type of thing.
Well, it's cool that these leagues are coming in and they're almost finding that role and not trying to compete with the NFL and instead trying to become that developmental league. I think it's smart. It really is smart.
And I think because the more that you see that, you'll start watching for, like, who's next.
If that's what it becomes, absolutely. They're going to end up making more money because
Dude, do you know
of that.
how much Summer League and G League shit I watch?
And
there's, like, 4 people in the stands. And that's just because I want to see the next developmental project that ends up becoming a dog.
It doesn't even matter because they're going to have the TV revenue. So, like, it's going to make money if people are watching.
Right.
So you might as well just... Yeah, I think it's smart. The jerseys, just so early 2000s, very XFL.
Very time...
Yep. It makes me think of, like, an Any Given Sunday uniform. That's kind of what... that's the vibe that it gives me.
Yeah.
So not quite like a pro team look, but like a movie version of it. That's kind of what it makes me think of.
Right.
The Rage, they might as well just put like a guy with rabies on there. Like I think that would like
essentially is. If you look up the logo, it's pretty much what it is. It's just a guy who got like bit by a raccoon.
Yeah,
and it's.
We actually watched we were just curious. We didn't know what rabies in humans look like, so we watched a few YouTube videos about that.
Who's we?
Me and Jess.
Really?
Yeah.
That was on the honeymoon. They were like, "Hey, you know what we need to do? First and foremost, we need to see how this guy bugs the fuck out when he gets rabies, man."
Yo, rabies in humans is wild.
Oh yeah,
it is wild because like you don't hear about it. Because only like 6 people every year get it, but like
dude,
it is crazy.
There is, and I'll wrap it up with this, but I need to give you one reference, okay? I will send it to you, but everybody else, you gotta find it on your own. There is an episode of King of the Hill.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you were gonna say Blue Mountain State.
Where Dale Gribble gets bitten by a dog who has rabies, okay? And he thinks he has rabies. It is the funniest span in a cartoon I have ever watched in my lifetime. I will send it to you or figure out a way for you to view this because you individually have to see it. Everybody else, I would recommend it because I'm telling you, even if you don't like King of the Hill, even if you don't like dry humor, you don't like what is more mature cartoons or whatever, like Family Guy and shit like that, I'm telling you, dude, this will make you crack the fuck up, and it's about one of the main characters getting bitten, getting rabies.
Oh my God.
And it's obviously very dramatized, but it is so funny. The shit that he does, dude. I don't want to say anything because it's gonna spoil it, but like it's just playing in my head now. Oh, I gotta get it to you.
I'm thinking of the Blue Mountain State episode where they inject themselves with rabies as a PED to give themselves the edge.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right.
Shout out Fat Castle.
Shout out that. My first pick. So, I'm going with more of a nostalgic one. I think I'm going to go with the 1997 Phoenix Suns. I have, so not the Chuck Barkley jersey, but I have the Steve Nash version. This is one of those pinnacle 90s jerseys, kind of looks where they were so good that they ended up bringing them back. This is 90s enough where it kind of gives you the nostalgia, but crisp enough where it's not quite outrageous and bad.
Yeah.
And I think I'll keep it short and sweet. I think just the 90s Ray look of like the Suns logo going across is just quintessential. The black really makes everything else pop, and just that Sun logo with the basketball with like the sun around it just looks good. I love these. These are, I think, probably a top 3 90s NBA fans.
I agree. Yeah. And I actually, I have the purple one that is Charles Barkley.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that the black is the best one because, like you said, everything does pop off of it.
Yep.
And I think that the giant logo stretched across works so well because the lines are straight.
Yep.
They don't get too crazy with the design. It's very crisp. It's very clean. Yep. And even the Suns logo, it's larger, but it's not fat. Yep. It's not illegible. And the fact that sits on those rays that are coming off the sun is perfect. And even usually, I hate numbers that low.
Yep.
But it just works here.
I don't know what it
is. And this is, to me, this is a top 3 90s jersey.
100%.
Easy.
Yep.
I think, like, probably second to me.
Yep.
So, this is a wonderful pick.
Yeah, I
Love
think
the
the only one that's in front of this one for me is probably the Utah Jazz look from the
right, and
90s.
that's where I'm at too.
But I had to throw this one on here just because it's in the main vein of the show where it's like, this is the good nostalgic thing.
Yes.
This is what we're all about. It's like this stuff right here. So we can appreciate this. My other picks are not this. So I wanted to get the good one out here.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So Benny, what do you got for pick number 2?
All right, so this is one I have also picked on the show before.
Yep, you have.
But would it have really been a finale of this show if I didn't make a homer pick?
Yep.
Come on, man. So you guys know me well enough at this point. I had to make a homer pick. And so I had to pick arguably my favorite Pitt jersey of any sport of all time. And this being a newer one, that's really saying something. I did think about putting in the disaster all gold Pitt football jerseys from the early 2000s, where it's gold socks, gold pants, gold jersey, gold helmet with the old rabid cat that we have on the side of the helmet.
The bear.
Yeah. So these, though, are awesome because it's got that old cathedral font for the name on the back. And then in the numbers, and I feel like the 0 on Nelly Cummings' jersey really accentuates that of those arches, because if you're not from Pittsburgh, if you come here and you go down to Oakland and you see the infrastructure, like there's a lot that like you know that would at least be associated with that. Obviously, there's not the actual building on there or anything like that, but it looks very cathedral-esque, and which makes sense for a lot of the architecture that is down in that area, especially on campus. And I love that, Pitt is typically blue and gold or blue and yellow, whatever you prefer to say, but I love that they embraced, for an alternate jersey, the rest of the city. The Pirates, the Penguins, and the Steelers were the only city, I think, in the country that all of their major sports teams have the same color scheme. And I love that, and I love that the city college adopted that as well for these and went with black and gold. The black itself is just tough on most basketball jerseys. Black looks good in basketball for jerseys. And then also that yellow and that gold pops off so well because of that dark background. And I kind of like that on the front, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I do like it. But just so that something ties in with the white letters on the name, I feel like, because you would have either had to make those gold also, but the fact that there's white letters in the name, I like the white number on the front, but I love more the gold with the white outline number on the back of the player. And then I kind of like the giant P because it's very pirate-esque in kind of paying homage to the city, as opposed to having Pittsburgh across or Panthers across. I kind of like that they kept it simple. They put one logo and a number, their name and a number. And with the stripes on the side, I think that 1 wouldn't have been enough, but 3 would have been too many. The 2 and the size of the stripes is perfect. Nike killed it with these. This is just, like, I don't even have anything funny or witty to say. I just love these jerseys. Like, this is one for me that as a Pitt fan, I was like, you nailed it.
Yeah. My only complaint, it's not really even a complaint. I get the P. It's the script P. I wish they would have just done the Pitt script. That's it. The P to me is a little weird. Everything else about
it technically is the newer Pitt script.
No, that's what I mean. I think if they would have done the whole thing, just Pitt, the whole Pitt script, I think that would have looked a little better. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, just PITT, not Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The P to me is a little confusing. Just if I didn't know that this was Pitt, I'd be like, who is this?
Yeah.
Everything else about it's perfect though.
Yeah, I would have
agree
dealt
with that.
With Pitt being across.
I would agree with everything else you said, except just if you can just stretch that out to Pitt, I think it's the perfect college basketball jersey.
Right.
No question. So yeah, I don't have much else to add either. That's a good pickup on the Cathy architecture too.
Yeah.
Like I like that too.
And I love that, like, they were very adamant about that. Like when they did the whole, like, they did, like, obviously, like, the press release of the jerseys and stuff. Not just with the black and gold ones, but when they completely because they do this in football now and in soccer and everything. But when they did that, like, it was like, hey, we want the images of Pittsburgh to be shown as how important they are to the people. And, like, the fact that they put that into the college, I just think that's so cool and very genuine of a thing to do for the people. And, I just, and two, I just think it looks better than what we were doing before. Because it was very blocky varsity letter type shit.
Yeah.
But we didn't stand out. Whereas this is like our own thing. Like nobody else has shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I like that there was some originality to it as well.
It's vintage too. So they pull the old Pitt script.
Correct.
Back in, the 70s and 80s and all
and
that.
And pair it with this. That's
exactly. That's why I like it, is because it's a little bit new, a little bit old, and like that. It's just the one complaint, but almost like the Nats jersey that we were talking about. If they would have just stretched out
one thing,
just one thing different, I think it would have been perfect. So yeah, I can't go without a homer pick.
I had to, man. Yeah. I had to at least one time.
Yeah, I have somewhat of a homer pick at the end.
Somewhat? Okay.
Somewhat of a homer pick. So we'll go with my second pick.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. I forgot about this. Yeah. This is one you did send to me, but I forgot.
Yeah, I sent this one to you. So I don't actually know the rules of the Power Slap League, but I do know.
Do they?
But I do know that Dana White is very interested, or has purchased, one of the two. He's very interested in the Power Slap League because
he owns it.
Oh, he does?
He
okay,
I
thought so. I know he was involved.
And he was training for it because he hit his wife a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. So
no.
With a slap, literally the weekend that this was debuting or something.
Really?
So it's just the worst timing in the world.
No.
But apparently she said it was no big deal. So.
Anyway, Power Slap League. So obviously this is not a sport that really requires jerseys, but they have to brand somehow. So I like the shirts just because they're so distinct and unique. I threw this on here, though, because this is just one of those weird sports that we haven't talked about on the show before. And I had a few other ideas for this pick, but I would decide to go with this one just because the Power Slap League is such an absurd concept to really think about. And the fact that people actually line up and sign up and train for this is just crazy.
They've made like a reality TV show with it now. Like it's kind of like The Ultimate Fighter, but it's just slapping them. They're like, "I'll slap the shit out you," and I'm like, "You are slapping." Do you know? And I would never want to get slapped by any of these people.
No,
for sure.
These are monsters.
But that is like, everybody knows that in like the fighting world, that's like the bitch move. If you slap somebody, so it's like, it is hilarious to me that people are priding themselves. "I'll smack the shit out you, boy," and I'm like, will you? Like, am I supposed to be intimidated now? But they get knocked out, bro. Yeah. They're holding on to these weird, like, cut in half pool noodles.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've watched dudes, pancake, but it's like, I don't know how marketable it really is, or like how much it's really going to stick. Like, you're going to sit there for an hour watching several people just slap each other. But I mean,
Ben, I'm not going to lie. I would watch 30 to 45 minutes of people just getting slapped.
Really?
Come on.
How messed up would you have to be? Like, you got to be drunk or stoned or both, or like
not that messed up. Just like with the boys, I would definitely throw this on, or like a hungover Saturday morning. Saturday
not
morning.
Hungover. I would be so mad. But I think it depends on the atmosphere. If you're like out at a bar and they just have this on and you're with the lads, like that would be like you get hyped, like but. I definitely don't think by myself hungover.
More than like I mean, I don't know. I've watched some wild things being hungover.
Yeah, just some mindless entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think this is. It's mindless.
Well, and I like that they kind of look like, when people they put on suits to choreograph their movement for a video game.
Yes. Yeah.
With all the like dots and shit when they move, like that's what I feel like this is. If there ends up being a Power Slap video game,
they're already halfway there. Like they might already be doing it.
We're getting it, and we're bringing back the vault for one episode to play it.
Dude, if they make a VR version of that,
insane.
Game over, dude.
Oh
man, yeah, I would definitely watch that. Anyway, yeah, the shirts themselves. It's just funny that they have like branded Power Slap League shirts
Yeah.
is just kind of funny. And like
the word slap is a funny word. And
Yeah.
the fact that it's just slapped on their chest is
Yeah.
hilarious. To me.
Yeah, but I had to throw just like a ridiculous pick on here because, like, I mean, what else is the show about outside of just talking about the niche sort of shirts and jerseys? You know?
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Benny, give us now a lot of pressure. This is your very last pick of all.
My last pick ever.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I got a little bit of a treat for you. This hits a lot of different categories.
Yep.
Okay. But I had to take it back because, as we had mentioned before, arguably, at least my favorite episode is our first minor league baseball one that we ever did, just because it was so off the rails. And minor league baseball is awesome. If you're not into it, you should be. But this comes from our friends, is the Phillies 3A affiliate, the Lehigh Iron Pigs.
Great name.
Okay. Awesome name. Is an alternate jersey in 2021. They coined this absolute American masterpiece that just says Bacon USA on the front of their jerseys, right across their chest, proudly, with a strip of bacon beneath the word bacon. And I love that they didn't need to necessarily put USA, but it's just such American pride because Americans are obsessed with bacon. And the fact that they are the Iron Pigs is kind of a hilarious thing, which also a play on it that I didn't even think of before. Their hat is technically steel colored. So it is, in a way, maybe iron colored with a slab of bacon across is the Iron Pigs. And then with the silhouette of America on the sleeve with a strip of bacon all across our great nation is fucking beautiful to me. That is quintessential, like, American shit. And I'm kind of mad it doesn't belong to a Pirates affiliate. But this is awesome, and I think they went great with a dark red uncooked bacon shade jersey with the gray steel iron hat and pants. I think they did a great job because it's not too outlandish. Like, they made it just enough to where it's kind of a legit jersey. There's not some Yellow Brick Road theme or a 90s splatter shit. Like, it's a legit uniform that is just kind of funny because we're talking about a breakfast meat. But, like, the fact that it's on there is awesome to me, and I love this, and we are such big fans of minor league baseball, and this hits, like, everything that we typically are looking for in the show, so I had to make it my final pick of all time. Mwah.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. I love the strip of bacon instead of the swoop that you see on a lot of jerseys in baseball. They just made it a strip of bacon, so it's just, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like subtle, because it's not subtle. It's just more of, it just fits what a baseball jersey kind of looks like.
And you would never expect to say that about a strip of bacon in a professional sports jersey.
Exactly.
But this works, man. Yeah. It does. It's funny, but it's still kind of clean.
Yeah.
Like, it's
clean enough that you aren't going to be like, oh, that's
yeah,
absurd,
like we're not putting it on because it's, like, only because it's so ridiculous, and we're like, oh yeah, but, like, I would never wear that. Like, I would get one of these, and
I definitely would.
I think like it's actually clean because, like, the font isn't bizarre, and there's no weird design on the rest of the jersey. It's just a solid jersey with your main focus going to the logos of where it needs to be, and same with the hat. Very similar to actual big league baseball. Like, they made a big league baseball jersey with bacon in it. That's awesome.
It's America. America. And the patch
that is America.
The patch on the sleeve too, like you said, just the silhouette of the outside outline of the U.S. with, like you said, just a strip of bacon going from coast to coast, sea to shining sea.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it doesn't get much more American than this. And like you said, it's clean enough that you can't just say, "Oh, this is absurd." Yeah, it's a little absurd.
Yeah,
but
it's funny.
All the right ways.
Right. It is crazy in the ways that it needs to be crazy.
Yep. No, 100%. Lehigh Iron Pigs, they knocked this one out of the park.
That's a great pun. That's an awesome pun.
I'm getting better at those, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at those. But yeah, The steal is a good pickup on that one too.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that one. That's I would wear that hat. I don't know
I would
where.
definitely
I don't
wear
know
that hat.
where or where to, but I would wear that hat.
I would wear it. And honestly, I feel like even if people didn't know it was tied to minor league baseball, someone would be like, yeah,
Bacon,
man, fucking
bacon.
bacon, and give me like a Caucasian high five. And it's just, it would work. It would work.
It would. That's a great way to wrap up. You're standing on the vault. So
All right. Now, as a disclaimer, I have not seen this pick. I don't know what this is or what this looks like, and he's been pretty excited about it. So this is also just as much the pressure shifted to you, buddy.
I know.
So this is your last pick on the vault
So-
of all time.
this is gonna be more of a nostalgia pick.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit in the fields. But I'm
Oh,
so
very well done.
yep. I'm gonna go with the 2014. Actually, I don't know when we started wearing these, but it was for a while. But,
It was that year we did wear them.
yeah,
though.
exactly. 2014 Kiski area high school soccer jerseys. So if you guys can't tell, I would be a little surprised if you could tell because we look very different now.
Extremely. Yeah.
This is when me and Ben played soccer together in high school. Two of our other buddies, and I only blocked out their faces just because I wanted people to focus on us.
Yeah, screw you guys.
Ty Young and Tom Bruno, sorry
Yeah.
boys. But this is, I still think, one of my favorite pictures of all time. So I had to throw it on here. So the jerseys themselves, obviously the most nondescript high school soccer jerseys of all time.
Correct.
Instead of our names on the back, it just said Kiski area, which I always think was
Yeah,
kind
and
of
the
a weird
jerseys
move.
actually sucked.
Yeah.
and those shorts just with like the weird white lines on them.
It was just kind of weird, but it was something that obviously we grew up with, and it was the Kiski soccer look that we always had.
Right.
So like nostalgia 100%. Threw this on here. This was what, your first goal?
I think so.
I think
it
it was
might
your
have been.
first goal, and as you've kind of mentioned, you were for a long time more of like a team.
I was a locker room guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a locker room guy.
I was an amp guy.
Yep, but we all loved them. We all loved them. So it was before I think our 7:30 game. So, but we always came down and watched, and you scored, and it was one of those moments that we all sprinted to the sideline and just went nuts because you scored. And
Yeah.
it was just one of those cool moments that we all just. It's one of my favorite pictures ever.
Yeah, me too,
And,
man.
like-
And I think because like. For all the people who think that we're only friends because of the show, here's
Yep.
proof, man.
Yep.
It was cool, and it was just like I think is a good link between the two. Is how much that then and now we've appreciated the community aspect
Yep.
of anything that we do.
Yep.
Is that like it was like when somebody that we liked, and I'm thankful enough to be one of those people,
Yep.
had something good happen to them, everybody was stoked. And it
Yep.
was like and especially that year, like your senior year, we had such a good group, at least between our two classes,
Yep.
that like we were just tight and like
Yep.
everybody was bought in. And I think, it's a credit to the show, as I feel like we just get happy is we did then
Yep.
seeing each other win in areas now. So it is cool. Definitely a feels pick,
Yep.
a good one to round the show out for sure.
Yep.
But bring like I remember that moment happening. Like if I close my eyes, I'm watching you guys run to me
Yep.
again, like when I got subbed off and everything.
Yep.
And it's like it was just it's a good moment, but just goes to show that like sports and friendship and how the marriage of that
Yep.
has stayed true throughout then, and coaching and
Yep.
through us doing this show. It's
Yeah.
it's a good creative kind of a dick move to a point, trying to hit me in my feels on the last episode, but a good way to tie it all together, because as we always say, we are a full circle show.
Full circle. Had to go
Yeah.
100% full circle on this one.
Yes.
I had to do it for the last pick just because, like I always said, it was just an honor that you said yes to doing the show. Just knowing how good of friends we were back in the day, and it was just
it was just cool. It was a cool
Yeah.
moment. I wanted to make sure that we threw a little bit of a throwback on here. Not necessarily, and again, it's not that not all of our picks are because of the jerseys themselves, because
Correct.
these are not, I would say, substantial high school soccer jerseys. They were
No, these
very
uniforms
nondescript.
sucked.
Yeah, they were very just boring, nondescript, but just speaks to how long we've kind of been friends and how long that I still think that we'll be friends going forward.
Agreed.
From this moment till now till whenever. So
Agreed.
had to throw it on here. That was my last pick on the show. So going to all our picks, Orlando Rage, great pick. XFL pick is amazing. Homer pick, had to get one of those on here. Had to.
Yeah, I mean,
Had
you
to.
know me well enough.
Yep.
I had to throw it on.
Yep, and then the minor league baseball again just goes back to our pretty much our. I think that was our first episode where we were like, man, we might have something.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll keep doing this if nobody watches.
Yeah, exactly.
We were just like, dude, I want to do this because I want to do this.
Yep,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's a perfect embodiment of what the show's all about. That last pick, and then Phoenix Suns. Again, I have this in my jersey,
Super
my
clean.
closet downstairs. Power Slap League, ridiculous pick.
Yep. Shout out Dana White.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then we had to get the high school pick in there just because. I mean, just because I'm not gonna go into it anymore. But Benny, this has been a ride. I don't really know what else to say outside of it's been a ride. It's winding down now, and
It's one of those, and this is just the best analogy I can use, but it's like, in a much lighter tone, it's like a funeral. Like, what do you say?
yeah.
You show up and you make it as positive an experience as you can, but it does suck to know that something has ended.
Yep.
But like at a funeral, I want to look back on the positive parts of what has happened
Yep.
in the life of this show. And I don't think we're totally done in terms of doing stuff together.
Yep.
The vault is, unfortunately, it has lived a long life.
Yep.
80 episodes,
Yep.
80's a
Yep.
good life length, I think.
I would. Yeah.
And if I live till I'm 80, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but it's lived a good length. We've come closer as friends. We've put out stuff that not
Proud
only
of.
we, but people have enjoyed and that we've been able to be proud of.
Yep.
And we've done something that we never thought we were going to be capable of doing, and,
Yep.
and we just did it. And
Yep.
so it's been a pleasure, man. I
Yep.
love you.
I love you too. man.
And being a part of this has been
Yep.
one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
Yep.
I appreciate you for carrying the heavy load with most of this over the last 3 years. But it's been awesome, man. And everybody, we thank you for watching and subscribing and liking.
Yep.
And do us a favor, and we're only going to ask you to do this one more time. So
Yep.
like, share, maybe not even subscribe. Sorry, Derek, but it's not really that necessary anymore. But just enjoy it like we have. Enjoy it for what it is.
Yep.
Cherish it. Be thankful that we all got to do this together, and you guys were just as much of a part of it as we were. So,
Yep. Yeah.
it's been cool, man. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy that we did it. I'll always look back on this stuff and smile. And I'm happy that I will, if I am feeling nostalgic, I can just
Yep.
watch an episode, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
So and I'll definitely be doing that, but I appreciate you letting me take this journey with you.
Well, I mean,
for sure.
yeah, I've said it before. I tried to do the vault on my own as a video segment. It was awful. It didn't take form until you joined.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciate you coming on. We kind of have to shout out Derek and all those
100%.
guys. Like,
Would not have been
Yep.
able to do like
Yep.
you guys gave us the platform
Yep.
to do this, and you kind of taught us what we needed to know going into making this show. So all the senior guys over at Thoughts on the Bench, and especially Derek for giving us the okay and filling in for me a couple times and being our guest. And that's another thing, all our guests, everybody who's ever been on the show, TFTB or not TFTB, everybody that's been on, and even if you were only on once, you taking an hour out of your life to bullshit with us about sports jerseys, you have no idea. It may have meant nothing to you. It means the world to us, being able to do that. So big shout out to everybody who's had a hand in doing the show. And again, Willie, I mean, literally affording us the ability to do this and going into a partnership with us where we were both able to spread the word about what each other was doing. We can't thank all you guys enough for putting the time and effort that you have into our passion project.
I can't really say much else. Just you pretty much got everything.
Sorry, I do that sometimes.
No, it's fine. No, I'm you put it more eloquently than I think I would have. So I appreciate that, and just like I said, I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate all the guys at Thoughts on the Bench. This is kind of the last official thing that we've done with them. I'm sure we'll see them around and stuff. And
correct.
Even if they end up doing a video down the road, then we're just in town for it and we can show up to. It's not like it's 100% done.
Yeah, it's not like we're cutting ties. No, it's just the show's coming to an end.
The show, our consistent partnership with Thoughts on the Bench is kind of coming to an end, and I mean it's. I got a lot of memories from it. Got a lot of fun times from it. Got a lot of experience from it. I mean, I never would have thought I would have been able to put together a show like this. Putting together all the clips, I just have fun. I had fun doing it. Like even though it took longer than I wanted to sometimes, but like just doing it just felt good. Like it felt right. And I enjoyed every single second of it.
And it's been rewarding for the growth that we saw in ourselves, but to me the biggest thing is obviously I'm thankful for our friendship growing to what it has, for more than literally anything else about the show, and just that community that whether we stay tight, not us, but us with the Thoughts on the Bench guys, whether we stay tight or not, I know if I run into anybody from Thoughts on the Bench, it's probably going to be a positive experience. On Saturday, I ran into King Mitch, Ryan Mitchell. And I ran into him and his wife in Oakmont, and it was hey, good to see you, big hug, and that's only from doing one event where they were at. You know what? And it's it's that stuff that Derek and Greg and even Josh, to you guys who kind of pioneered this, hats off to you for building that kind of community, and everybody else who's been involved with, Greg Mack, Austin, Dre, Vo, Denny, and Abby, and us, and Josh, Derek, Greg. Am I missing anybody?
Did you say Dre?
I did say
Denny,
Dre. Pete.
I know.
So everybody who's been a part of this,
Ping,
Pinger for sure, and Alex and Steph and all you guys who have made this community what it is, because everybody's had their own impact on this. We're just happy that you allowed us to have ours, and that we've been able to build what we've built. And 80 episodes in and 4 to 5 years of being involved with Thoughts on the Bench, you guys have provided us with experiences that we never would have had on our own. So it's been quite the ride, and I'm honored that I got to do it with these people and specifically with you. So with our last sip, cheers, brother. 80 eps.
80 eps.
R.I.P. the Vault.
Let's go, baby. All right, guys. This has been the Vault,
a weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. I would say that we're back next week, but we're not. This is it. But it's been a ride. Appreciate every one of you guys. Peace.
Peace.